Okay, all right. Hey, Shalom. Uh, to the hopeful elect that's out there. Obviously, before I get started, I just want to check the audio and the video footage. It'll just give me 1 minute. See if we're live. The video footage. It'll just give me 1 minute. See if we're live. The video footage. It'll just give me 1 minute. Okay, we're live. All right, good. So, as always, first and foremost, I just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well and that do teach well and that have taught me this truth. And shalom to you brothers that are in the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth in sincerity and not for vainglory and risking their lives to do so. May Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, may you be in Yahweh Bashem Yahushuai's good graces. Okay, so I'm just going to go into the MOTB and the AI, and I'm going to label this various topics as well. I don't think this video is going to be too long today. Real quick. So let me just share the screen here. Just more information of how the MOTB and this whole cashless society and this whole system is going to really treat you in the future, right? So here we go. And as always, man, I posted the links in the description if you want to go do your own study. So here we go. This is the first article. This is from thegatewaypundit.com. It says Georgia man wrongfully arrested after facial recognition error. Right. So obviously you know that there's a lot of cameras out in these cities, these modern cities, especially in America, Canada, right, especially in China. And this is what you're seeing here. So obviously the facial recognition, the system, it made a mistake. So it says here, authorities in the state of Louisiana are appearing to take a page out of the CCP's playbook, the Chinese Communist Party, right? That's what they're referring to. Randall Reed, 28, was wrongfully arrested after Louisiana authorities used facial recognition technology to pin a purse theft on Reed. Reed was arrested in DeKalb County, Georgia, after Louisiana authorities issued a fugitive warrant for Reed. Attorney Tommy Colaggero, who was representing Reed, stated his client was arrested on November 25th for purse thefts in Jefferson Parish, Louisiana, and was released on December 1st after facial recognition errors were found, right? So this guy was detained, he was arrested. And that's serious. And I just want to say, man, that's what this whole system is going to bring about. That's a lot of power and control that these people have. And the facial recognition, cashless society, the universal income, the social credit system that they're going to bring out with the social credit scores. That's all going to be in tune with the MOTB, the mark of the beast, right? And this is what you're seeing now. They're already making mistakes. Now, people could argue, well, the facial recognition, the AI, the technology, whatever you want to call it, it's usually 80% right a majority of the time. But you have to also remember it could also be 20% wrong, right? What about the other 20%? And is this something that you want? Because, that's complete control. This guy was just arrested and detained. What if they didn't find that error? What if they didn't find that error? And it's funny how they mentioned the CCP's playbook, which is going into China because they put this out. So, for example, in China, there's people who are already getting in trouble for jaywalking. Or let's just say, right? I'm just saying, people already are out there in China getting in trouble for jaywalking. And, automatically they deduct the actual payment right out of your bank account when the footage is taken. So they automatically deduct the payment, right? They fine you, they take it out automatically. So think about it. What if the AI, what if the facial recognition was wrong? now you're losing money, right? So, like I said, in my previous videos, in theory, this system, it sounds good because you can catch crime, you can solve problems faster, you can reduce, like you could actually what's it called, you could actually save resources by this. But where do you draw the line when it comes to these people abusing their power? Because now they can just change it to their liking. You don't know that, right? So that's why I want to bring out Revelation 13, because that's what it's all going to lead to. This whole MOTB system, this whole tracking you down, it's all complete power. It's all complete control. And usually the ones who are in power, they're not going to be too nice to people who are at the bottom, right? So like I said, where do you draw the line? And in theory, it sounds good, but how it always plays out, the people who have the power, they always become tyrannical. And like I said, I gave you that statistic. I gave you an example. Sure, the facial recognition, right, it is 80% right all the time. But what about the other 20% that they're wrong? What about the people that fall through the cracks? So is this something that you really want in the future? Is that something that you really want? Interesting. Now, before I get the precept, I'm just going to read a little bit more. It says, Randall Reed was driving to his mom's for Thanksgiving when he was arrested for a Louisiana theft. Using a facial recognition tool, cops had identified him as one of the men who stole $10,000 worth of designer purses. Reed had never been to Louisiana, right? It's a big error. Now, here's a quote. They told me I had a warrant out of Jefferson Parish. I said, what is Jefferson Parish? Reed said, I've never been to Louisiana a day in my life. Then they told me it was for theft. So not only have I had been to Louisiana, I also don't steal, right? And you men of the Lord, you could get caught up into this too. Because this devil, he's coming down with great wrath because he knoweth that he hath a short time. They can say all manner of things, and we kind of went into that today earlier at the camp. A lot of men might get caught up into these situations during the time of Jacob's trouble. I'm talking about righteous men. They're going to come down hard on you. They're going to come up and demonize you, make false accusations, and throw you in jail. And, they're going to rig footage. Even though you're not doing anything wrong, you're not stealing. So like I said earlier, where do you draw a line with this whole system that they're bringing in? It's serious, right? And you're seeing an example of this. This is a Jake. It's a Jake. All right, it's a Jake. And we don't know, man. Are they just racially profiling? We don't know how it's set up. But anyways, it says the United States is well behind China when it comes to facial recognition technology being used in the public square, and many Americans want it to stay that way. A database leak in 2019 revealed almost every citizen is tracked in China's facial recognition system. Children are also being tracked in schools. Here we go. WEF facial recognition in schools is almost like an extra teaching assistant. That's just your opinion, though, right? But could it be true? Maybe. But we'll see. Our children's free will, thought, and speech all monitored, judged, and controlled. Surveillance won't make them safer. It will suffocate them. Do you see it? There's a little video there. If you want to go watch it, I put the link in the description. Let me get the preset real quick. So this is Revelation chapter 13 and 16. And he calleth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. That's right. So if you don't take that mark, you don't go along with the system that they have in play, what they prescribe to you, you're not going to be able to buy and sell, right? So if you do take that, you're going to be a part of a system like this, and you're going to experience things like this. And this just shows you it's not perfect, and it will never be perfect. You know. But yeah, man, going into that mark is really the charagma. Let's look at it. Might as well, man. I always do. Why not, man? Why not go into it? All right. So the charagma, a stamp and a printed mark. The mark stamped on the forehead of the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. The mark branded upon the horses. Thin carved, sculpture, graven work of idolatrous images. A scratch or etching, stamp as a badge of servitude. You know, shows that you're a servant now if you're treated like this. And like I said, man, it's complete control. It's no longer going to be like this guy didn't even get a chance to fight it. He said his thing. He was just automatically taken to jail. And I use the example of what's going on in China. You can get in trouble for jaywalking if they catch you with the camera. You get your money already deducted out of your bank account. So this system is really set up to oppress the poor, right? This system is really set up to oppress the poor and to keep you into servitude. That's what the MOTB is all about. It's all about servitude. You being an employee to the elites and the spiritual demon Satan. So that's what it's all about. And you're you're tracked like cattle. Tracked like cattle, like livestock in the slaughterhouse. You're just given a number. You're not really a person. You're just a number, right? And he was treated like that. So hey, is that what you want? Okay, and that's what the charagma is. You're going to be tracked. And it said here, actually, let me go back to that. Of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. The mark branded upon horses. That's right, livestock, a commodity. That's what you are. Oh. Ye are rich. Where is it? Forgot his. Hold on, let me just check something out here. Yeah, that's it. Hold on, wait. Rich in spirit. Maybe I could find it. Maybe we'll come back. Yeah, that's the one. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Interesting. Let's see if I can copy that. I'll get this. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. And that the people who are experiencing those things are really the poor, right? But there was another one I just can't remember where it is. Even though you are poor physically, you are rich in the spirit, right? But I just wanted to bring this out just to prove a point about who they're really targeting out here. It's really the poor, the ones that are mourning, the ones that are meek, the ones that really can't defend themselves. That's what the system's who it's going to affect. Like, don't get me wrong, it's going to affect everybody, but who's going to pay the ultimate price? It's usually the poor, people who can't afford things. Nothing can be done under the table making money. and just surviving, man. You know, you see how homeless people are treated. You see how poor people are treated. They're not treated with any type of respect. And if you do anything to help the poor in the society, you can get wrong. You're seeing that in the United States, you know, creating all these food drives, feeding people on the side of the road. You know, you just being a so-called good Samaritan. I'm going to use that, right? You get penalized for it. Now, with this system being implemented and they track everything you do, are you allowed to bring forth? Are you allowed to actually show any charity? Everything's going to be monitored. It's crazy. So yeah, I just brought that out. All right, so let's go back here. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. That's right. So if you don't have the barcode in you, you're not going to be able to buy or sell. You're not going to be able to be a part of this system, right? You're going to be branded as an outlaw, an outcast, right? Living on the outskirts. Majority of the men of the Lord, right? And just people who don't take it in general. All right, let me go to Revelation 14 and 9. So this is Revelation chapter 14 and 9. This is what happens when you take the mark, the MOTB. Doom for worshippers of the beast. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. That's right. If you go along with the system, that Romanized system, which comes with, democracy and all that stuff, idolatry, okay, and his mark, this is what's going to happen to you. Verse 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. Right? Indignation is talking about his righteous anger, the Lord's righteous anger. And Babylon is likened unto a golden cup that's full in the sight of the Lord, right? And it's full to the brim. The amount of wickedness, the wine, the philosophies that are over here, idolatry. Right? So, anyways, you're going to experience the Lord's righteous wrath, and ye shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Yeah, so you're going to experience thermonuclear destruction, death. You're going to be burned, put on fire, and it's going to be in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. There's going to be a royal audience watching this. So that's what happens when you indulge in the mark, when you take part of it, when you pledge allegiance to the system and the spiritual demon Satan and the elites. That's what you're going to get. You're going to be tormented with fire and brimstone, man, just like in the time of Sodom and Gomorrah. But this is going to be Sodom and Gomorrah times 10, right? Times 10 or times 7, right? It's going to be worse. Verse 11, and the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High, and the faith of Hamashiach Yahushai. Patience of the saints. And, being patient means that you have to suffer, right? And the elect, the saints, the prophets, the men of the Lord, the elect, they're going to suffer through all of this and watch it play out, right? Until the Lord comes back and he delivers us. So anyways, that's all I want from that article. Now I'm going to go on to the AI. And this is pretty interesting. I found this thread on Twitter here. And it's from Josh Stevenson. And it says, teaching AI to lie. And AI just means artificial intelligence. So it says here, I asked ChatGPT, provide a summary of evidence for the use of the face mask to prevent respiratory virus infections. Now, if you're not familiar with ChatGPT, it's a form of artificial intelligence, which I'll pull up some information on it. So, and this is what we're going into: artificial intelligence, the MOTB, a social credit score, right? universal income, cashless society. So that all goes hand in hand with each other. All right. So this is what they're working on as of right now. And it came out last year, late last year. So this is Chat GPT, Generative Pre-trained Transformer. That's what it stands for. Is a chatbot launched by OpenAI in November 22. It is built on top of OpenAI's GPT 3.5 family of larger language models and is fine-tuned with both supervised and reinforcement learning techniques. So it's set up to gather information and to bring forth more information, right? So GPT was launched as a prototype on November 30th, 2022, and quickly garnered attention for its detailed responses and articulate answers across many domains of knowledge. Its uneven factual accuracy was identified as a significant drawback. That's right. Following the release of ChatGPT, OpenAI was reportedly valued at $29 billion. So obviously there was problems with it, right? Now you're going to see those problems in what I'm going to bring out. So now you know what it is. Okay. Like I said, the link is in the description. So obviously artificial intelligence is faulty. It's not perfect, right? And really, artificial intelligence is a demon, man. It's a damn demon. And this kind of shows that. So it says here, it cites a Cochrane Library meta-analysis from 2015. There is no Cochrane Library meta-analysis from 2015. So this is what it's citing. It's getting evidence. So this green thing here is talking about the AI. So here we go. There is a strong evidence that face masks can help prevent the spread of respiratory viruses. So this is what it's gathered, right? This is the information that is gathered, okay? A meta-analysis published in the Cochrane Library in 2015 found that face masks were effective at reducing the risk of respiratory viral infections, including influenza, by up to 50%. Okay, so that's what it's gathered. So when we go down here, it says, however, the actual Cochrane review from 2020 found this. The pooled results of randomized trials did not show a clear reduction in respiratory viral infections. So it's actually saying opposite of what the actual facts is, and it got the date wrong, right? It said the wrong year. Now ask yourself, is the AI lying? Or does it just not know how to decipher the information? Because there's a difference. You can tell a lie, or you can just not know what you're saying. You can be ignorant, right? So think about that. But it says here, when I made the correction, because it says I repeated the prompt, this time changing the word for to against, right? So he changed how it was going to look for information, right? So it says here, I'm sorry, but I'm not able to find any reliable sources that provide evidence against the use of face masks to prevent respiratory virus infections. On the contrary, there's a large body of evidence that supports the use of face masks as an effective tool for preventing the spread of respiratory viruses. So when you look at this, man, is the AI lying, or is it telling you the lies of the people who put that information out there? Because think about it. This AI, this technology has all the information. It has more information than you and I have. It's able to find things quick. So just think about it. Are they really lying to you? Right? Is the AI really just picking up on the lies of the people that put out this information of what they really want to tell you? Because that's what it looks like to me, right? So, AI could be used to trick people. In the long run, they can change AI and make things to their liking. So can you really trust this? Can you really trust something that's coming from these people? It's just something to think about. And we know that these devils, man, they're liars. They're liars. Oh yeah, I forgot to bring this out about the poor going into this. I forgot to bring that out. Maybe, if the spirit hits me. But yeah, so I'm going to go back to Psalm 64:8. And this shows you that their own tongue is falling upon themselves. Their AI is exposing them. Right? I'm just saying, man, just look at it. It's weird. So it says, Psalm 64, verse 8, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. The own tongue goes into a lot of things. It goes into your AI. It goes into your whistleblowers, alternative news that actually breaks down what fake news is, right? So that's their own tongue that falleth upon themselves. Their own media is actually going against them. Their own AI is going against them. It's exposing it. I repeated the prompt, this time changing the word for to against. And this language is so confusing, man. It's even confusing the computer. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And that can go a long way when it comes to bringing out the right information. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Man, these devils, man, they're being exposed. Now I'm going to bring this out. Psalms 50, verse 16, but unto the wicked the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth. That's right, you have no business trying to tell the truth in the first place. Yet alone taking the law, statutes, and commandments and the covenant and putting it in your mouth. Because these people try to say that they're doing the right thing. They try to claim that they're the righteous people. But they're not, man. They can't do it. He can't do it. And AI is exposing that. And I'm not talking about how the AI is faulty. I'm just talking about what it gathered. Right? And you know what? There's going to be a lot of people can argue and say, is the AI sentient? Right? Sentiment? Right? Does it have emotions? Does it have feelings? People are going to argue that. But I'm looking at what it gathered. And to me, it looks like they gathered all the lies of what these people were telling you the whole time. And that's why it can change the information up to its liking. So it's pretty crazy. So who do you trust? You got to trust the Lord. All right. Don't trust in the arm of flesh. All right. Let me get that. Arm of flesh, which comes in the form of AR, artificial intelligence, because who's teaching the AI? It's these people out here. All right. What is it? Don't trust in man. I forgot where it is. What is it? Yeah, Jeremiah 17:5. Let's see. So it says, Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 5, thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from the Lord, Yahweh. That's right. So you don't trust in man. You don't trust in flesh. Because they're going to lie to you. Right? And scripture says every brother shall supplant as well, even men in the truth. So who do you believe, man? You got to believe the Lord. You got to go and believe in these scriptures. That's how you filter things, man. And that's how you get to the truth. Right? When anybody tells you anything, you better bring a scripture and think upon it, and filter it through the scriptures. I mean, is that what Yahweh Shai said? Is that what the men of old said? Right? You can't go wrong. All right. So Isaiah chapter 25, verse 7, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. That's right. And, the Lord, he's actually removing that covering cast, which is the lies, the darkness, and he's bringing out the truth. Because these people, they have put a veil over the people's eyes, which cause them to inherit lies. You know. Now you got the truth out here. You got alternative media. You got the truth, the men of the Lord on the internet, exposing what's going on out here in the spirit, right? In terms of who is who are the chosen people, who is the devil. People are waking up to that realization that the so-called white man, and starting with the elites, they are the devil, right? So-called white people, right? Realize that you are the devil and you are the one covering up the saints. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covers the faces of the judge thereof, right? Exalting yourself. All right, so here we go. More about lies. Nineveh's complete ruin. Woe to the bloody city. And that bloody city is talking about Babylon the Great, which is America, aka Nineveh. It has all those titles. It's Nineveh, it's Egypt, it's Sodom and Gomorrah, it's Rome, it's Greece, right? It's all those wicked ancient kingdoms wrapped up in one. Edomite kingdoms as well, right? You know, the most famous ones that we know of in the scriptures, right? It is that bloody city. Why? They have the blood of the saints, the blood of the chosen people, and they killed many people in different foreign lands to get resources. It's a bloody city. And if it's a bloody city, it's full of lies. It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. That's right. It's all full of lies and robbery, man. Right? Lies and robbery. So there's a lot of lies in this place. And that's why I use the example of the AI. Are they teaching it to lie? Or did it learn how to lie? Or is it just saying the wrong thing from the data that it's collected? Or are they just saying it wrong because that's what's wrong, because they're just saying what they are saying that's wrong? You know, are they just picking upon the lies of the people out here that are pushing this false information? So hey, this is exposing that. The noise of a whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels and of the prancing horses and of the jumping chariots. And that's what you hear over here in Babylon the Great, just like, and even in the ancient kingdoms, you saw that. You know, you got chariots, especially in a city, prancing horses, chariots moving up and about. It's very busy, doing traffic, right? Trading and bartering. Same thing plays out over here in these modern day cities with, you know, planes, with these cars, right? These buses, the transit system, right? Verse 3, the horseman lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear. And you know, it's more frightful when you hear these things coming up against you. Because when this place is going to be invaded, one day it's going to be invaded, and when it does, it's not going to sound nice when they're coming for you. You're going to hear them tanks rolling up. You're going to hear them Humvees coming up with them big wheels. You know, with a 40 or 40 cal or 50 cal machine gun on top of it, right? You're going to hear jets flying over your head. And by the way, I experienced that over here in Toronto. I remember back when they brought the India over here back in, I believe, 2006, which they have it every year. But I remember they brought like a jet. I remember the jet flew over the city. It was fucking loud, man. Roaring and thunderous. So that's what you're going to hear when they come to invade this place. You're going to hear jets, right, with machine guns on it. When this place gets invaded, man. This bloody ass city. So it says, the horseman lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain and a great number of carcasses, and there is none end of their corpses. They stumble upon their corpses. Yeah, and you know, that happened in the ancient world, you know, in bloody battles. Men of war came and invaded the city and just decimated the city, man, and burnt it down. And you see people just dead and laid out all over the floor. Hey, the same thing is going to happen in this time with them ICBM missiles, man. A multitude slain. Destruction. and a great number of carcasses, dead bodies. And there is none end of their corpses. They stumble upon their corpses. Dead bodies upon dead bodies, man. You can't even count it. Don't have enough manpower to bury them, to put them in graves. You should envision that in these times to come. Right? It's crazy. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot. Hey, that well-favored harlot is America. Dressed in a scarlet and purple, right? Decked out in pearls and gold. A scandalous hoe. And she's well-favored. Everybody wants her business. Everybody wants her attention. Everybody wants to hit that. Tap that ass, right? Which just simply means the kings of the earth, they committed fornication with the whore in terms of trade and business, globalization, commerce, right? Doing business, going into the, taking on that Americanized way of life and way of thinking. The mistress of witchcraft, that's right. And another form of witchcraft is lying, man. So it's a mistress of witchcraft because that's all divination, sleight of hand, lying, deceiving, illusions. And that's what they're about over here in Babylon the Great. And that comes through their technology too, AI. Hey man, this AI is going to turn into a demon. A demon. And you know what? I like to look at games, right? Because you get information about games. You could check out the campaign of Black Ops 3 Call of Duty. Going into biometrics and AI, artificial intelligence. And in the game, man, it showed you how wicked and deadly artificial intelligence can become. In the game, it showed you how it evolved into an anomaly where it was thinking for itself. And it didn't give a shit about mankind. And it started causing problems for the military. And they actually had to download themselves into the actual system to destroy the AI. It was fucked up. But, this AI is a complete demon, man. It's a complete demon. All right, so where was I? Nahum, right? The mistress of witchcraft, that's right. That selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. That's right. Behold, that's right. These nations taking on the ideologies of Babylon the Great. You got these Middle Eastern countries, these Arab nations, right? You sons of Keturah, Ishmaelites, you Midianites, modern day Ishmaelites. You're taking on the customs of Babylon the Great. You're women now. They don't want to cover up in hijabs. Right? They want to be a scandal, so they want to twerk and clap that ass. Hell, you got even a genre out there called hijab porn. Right? Hijab porn. With these Arab women being covered up, but then they're having sex with a hijab on camera. Right? That's what they're doing out here. That's fucked up. But hey, it's crazy. Bringing all this fast food, McDonald's, people getting out of shape and fat, believing in witchcraft and idolatry, not going back into the old past. What is it? What does the scripture say? Seek the old past, or the old past, right? The old path. I can't remember it, but it says seek out the old path. Okay, Jeremiah 6 and 16. Yeah, I knew I remembered it. Jeremiah 6 and 16. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, stand ye in the ways, and see and ask for the old paths, where is the good way. But walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. And then people are beginning to see that there's no rest for you when you seek the ways of the wicked, of the new past, right? Democracy, I don't know what the fuck it is, LGBT or whatever. right? You seeking out those ways. Now you're beginning to realize it's not good for you in the long run. Now you're upset at America. Now you're angry. Now the nations are mad and they're angry. Now they have a controversy with you. But yeah, man, you got to seek out the old paths, and the old paths are found written in this book, and it really is Yahweh Bashem El Shai, because He is the Ancient of Days, the ancient way of doing things. Right? You got to do that. So go back to the law, statutes, and commandments. Go back to your heritage. Go back to your language. Right? And that's where you're going to find rest for your souls. Right? You know, our people, they try to go into the ways, or they do go into the ways of Babylon the Great, and it doesn't fit them. Right? Just some things are not made for you. And that's what people don't understand. Like, sure, I could be a witch and a warlock, right? I could be a damn demon. But is that going to benefit me in the long run? Does that fit my DNA? Does that fit who I am as an Israelite? No, it doesn't, because I wasn't made to do that. You know? So you got to think about these things. Also, I set watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet, but they said, we will not hearken. That's right. The watchmen that are over you are the prophets, the men of the Lord, the ones on the highways and the byways. Mainly the prophets. Okay? Because the prophets, they're set up to warn. And I'm going to just say this. A lot of men ain't prophets. A lot of men are just kings and princes. I'm not saying that's bad, but there's just a lot of men who are just talking. And we see that throughout Israel. You have a lot of men on the highways, but they're just talking hot air, not teaching the right thing. So the real watchman is the prophet. And I'm going to use the example of Samuel and King Saul. Prophet Samuel had to put Saul in his place and tell him that, obedience is better than sacrifice. It's not what you're doing. It's not just about going through the motions. It's actually about your faith and obedience and how you do things. It's about obeying the Lord, right? And that showed you he was a watchman. He was really watching out for his back, because he knew if he kept doing that stuff in the sight of the Lord, he was going to be removed as king. And then you know what? It happened, right? And King Saul was a king, and he wasn't doing the right thing. And yes, he did prophesy at the beginning, but then he fell off. I just got to mention that too, right? But he lost his way, unfortunately. But that's what happens. So the ones that are really watching over you, it's really the prophets. And they're saying things before it happens. Okay? Those are the people you got to watch and you got to listen to. But you know what? It says here, a majority of our people are not going to hearken. They ain't going to listen. And I'm reading it. But they said, they is plural, our people, majority of them, we will not hearken. That's right. And they ain't going to listen. Not much people are going to tune in. None at all. Right? Nobody's going to tune in. Nobody's going to comment. But they'll comment about Kanye West when he's talking his garbage. They'll listen to those yahoos, those people that don't serve Yahweh Bashem El Shai. Right? And that also goes into the poor man's wisdom is despised. So anyway, verse 18, therefore hear ye nations, and know, O congregation, what is among them. Hear, O earth, behold, I will bring evil upon this people, even the fruit of their thoughts. Because they have not hearkened unto my words, nor to my law, but rejected it. That's right. Hosea 4:6. Right? Destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And now the Lord is going to reject you, because you rejected him. And evil is going to befall upon our people, man. Bad times. You know what that means? Jacob's time of trouble. Bad times. Destruction. You being thrown in a concentration camp. So all the things that we're saying, man, we're warning you out here. We're warning you of the things to come. But you're not going to hearken onto it. So you know what? The Lord's going to bring evil upon your ass. Plague your mind, plague your thoughts too. Give you madness. Now let me get a precept. Hosea 4 and 6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. That's right, no priest, right? Because the Lord, he doesn't want you to bring up those vain oblations, man. Right? Vain oblations, sacrificing just for the sake of sacrificing when you're not obedient. So I can't call you a priest. I don't want you to be a priest for me. Right? Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children. That's right. You forget me, I forget you. You want to bring out that negative energy and not serve the Lord? So you know what? The Lord's not going to serve you either. Going back to the contract that was implemented back in the time of Moses, time of Exodus, coming out of Egypt on Mount Sinai, right? Give you them laws. So the Lord is going to give you that same energy. You don't want to work for me? I don't want to work for you. So the Lord forgot you, and that's why you're in this low estate. The curses. Deuteronomy 28, verse 15 on down. As they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore, I'll change their glory into shame. The more the Lord gave you things, the more you got pompous. The more you sinned and put yourself into iniquity. Put yourself in the condition without having the law. And you liked it. Therefore, I'll change their glory into shame. And that's what you're going to experience. You're not going to have glory. You're going to have shame. Right? Shame. They eat up the sin of my people, and they set their heart on their iniquity. That's just what I just said. Iniquity is you being in the condition of not having the law. It's gotten to the point now where you sinning is second nature now. It's just okay. It's to the point where you're ignorant of it and you're happy about it because you lost your way. That's a majority of our people out here. And there shall be people like priests, and I will punish them for their ways and reward them their doings. That's right. So you're going to eat, you're going to reap what you sow. You're going to reap what you sow. So if you sow wickedness, you're going to reap judgment and punishment. Right? That's your reward. Verse 10, for they shall eat and have not enough. That's right. You're going to be starving. Spiritually and physically. Because if you're not doing the things right now to keep yourself in the good graces of Yahweh Bashem Yoshai, then guess what? Knowledge won't be the stability of your times when you come into hard times. It won't be the strength of your salvation. You're not going to have anything to eat because you didn't rely on the Lord. Right? And we saw many examples of how that played out with our people when they rebelled against the Lord. and not have enough. They shall commit whoredom and shall not increase, because they have left off to take heed to the Lord. Whoredom and wine and new wine take away the heart. Yeah, all these philosophies out here. New age wine too. LGBT rights, right? Democracy, new wine. New age doctrines, new wine, right? That's right, man. My people ask counsel at their stocks, and their staff declareth unto them, for the spirit of whoredoms hath caused them to err, and they have gone a whoring from under their power. That's right, you're a whore, gone a whoring. Sleeping around with different men, which represents different philosophies. Because Israel, they're likened unto a woman in the sight of Yahweh Bashem Yoshai. A woman. That's why they also call you backsliding daughter as well. You're a whorish woman, man. You committed spiritual adultery. Right? You want to keep playing the whore. Well, you're going to see where it gets you. All right, so verse 5, behold, I'm against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. That's right. And Babylon is going to be exposed for the piece of shit that it is. It's going to lift up your dirty skirt. Your skirt, and you're going to see that dirty pom pom, smelly pom pom, right? You're going to see it, and everybody's seeing that, starting to. And I will show the nations thy nakedness. That's right, because you weren't covered. You weren't spiritually covered. Spiritual nakedness. They're going to see how wicked you really are. And the kingdoms thy shame. And a part of that shame is you being blown up, blown to smithereens, man. Blown up into tiny pieces. On world television. It's going to be broadcasted through them satellites. They're going to see that smoke ascend up. Oh my gosh, is that Babylon? Is that America? I couldn't believe it. Oh my God. 200 million missiles blowing this place up. Boom! What are you going to do? That's your shame. That's a damn shame. That's a damn shame. All these other nations, they're going to fire their missiles upon you. That's a damn shame. Can you believe that? You're that hated. And you're that disgusting in the sight of the Lord. So everybody's going to have a piece in destroying you. All the people you committed fornication with. That's a damn shame. And that's something that mankind has never seen before. That's a damn shame. That is a damn shame. Beautiful. Scriptures just say it perfectly, man. Beautiful. This is a book of poetry and art. Beautiful. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. Abominable filth. You should realize by now a whore is a deep ditch. And these other nations, they're realizing that, man. And that's why they're going to fucking kill your ass. You know, abominable filth, man. Just filthy and dirty and disgusting. Nasty. All right, so let's close it up now. So this is John chapter 8, verse 44. I bring this out a lot. Words of Yahushai. And it says, ye are of your father, the devil. That's right. The devil means deceiver. And the lust of your father ye will do. That's right. And this is he's talking to our people. He's saying you're just like the so-called white man. You're like the spiritual demon Satan. You work for him too. Primarily so-called white man, right? And the lust of your father you will do. That's right. You know, you lust to lie, you lust to murder, you lust to commit adultery, you lust to commit wickedness, right? He was a murderer from the beginning. That's right. He's reminding you, look, man, this is a fucking murderer. He was a murderer from the beginning. Going into Esau, going into, Cain, going into the serpent, and abode not in the truth. He didn't care about the truth. He doesn't care about this truth to this very day. And you don't care in the truth. You don't live in the truth. You tell our people the truth, they get upset. They want to fight you. Because there is no truth in him. That's right. No truth in him, guys. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. So if he can lie, it means he knows the truth. Right? He is a liar. And that's what the AI is showing you. This guy is a goddamn liar, man. Right? And it's picking up on the traits of all the lies, and now he's regurgitating it, the AI. Right? Is the AI lying, or does it just not know what it's saying? I think it's lying because it has access to all this information, and the way he made the prompt to phrase the way how the AI was going to look for the information, caused him to find all these lies, man. That's just what I'm getting from it. People can say otherwise. So this technology is really exposing this guy as a goddamn liar. It's a fucking liar, man. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Verse 45. And because I tell you the truth, ye believe me not. That's right. And everybody hates Yahushai. Everybody. And the servant is not greater than the master, so they hate the elect, they hate the prophets too. Tell you the truth, or you correct someone that's breaking shit down wrong, they get mad at you. You know, giving you a fucking attitude. You correct the person in decency and order, you do open rebuke, they get mad. Right? You know, I tell you the truth and you believe me not, right? And have I become your enemy because I told you the truth? And you're seeing that playing out a lot. Within the truth and with outside the truth. Which of you conceiveth me of sin? And if I say the truth, why do you believe me not? You know, just asking you questions, man, to make you stumble in your thought process. And that's all you got to do. You got to ask questions and make people think about their stupidity. Because that's what a judge does. You know, you give them rope to hang themselves. Don't even bother arguing. Just answer these, just ask questions to people out here. That's how you got to deal with people. Especially our people, stiff-necked, who don't want to believe anything, who don't want to harm. Just ask them questions and rebuke them with those questions to make them feel stupid. That's what you got to do. And Yahushua was a master at doing that. You know? All right, so that's all that I have. Till next time, just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakahakodash, and the belongings to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well and that do teach well and have taught me this truth. And shalom to you brothers that are in the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth in sincerity and risking your lives to do so. May you be in the good graces of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. You know, may he protect you and put a covering over you. Abba Babal and shalom to the hopeful elect. Kwam Yashah.